Good afternoon or good evening, depending on the time of day you're looking at this. And today, the 22nd day of January 2024. Isn't it amazing? We're already getting into it. We're pushing forward and we're getting things done for ourselves, our life, and our well-being. And if you are really reaching out, what are we doing to help others in their quest for a better quality of life? And today, Lee, I forgot to spell it for you, but it's probiotics we're going to be talking about today. And that's P-R-O, botics, and where did it go? I lost my thing. B-I-O-T-I-C, probiotics. And put these here new ones on here, see if they make a difference in what I'm able to read, and quit trying to get the focus on these suckers. There's a lot of questioning coming into us at Remedy This Naturally in reference to liver and the vitality of the liver and what we can do for it. And we're talking about probiotics, milk thistle, these things that are helpful to instilling in us health and wealth and basically healthy life. I looked up under one of my 2023 Life Extension magazines, and I was trying to find out what we had for liver health and detoxification. And folks, N-acetyl L-cysteine is something that is phenomenal in helping us get rid of. When we had the flu epidemic going on, the other things that were happening, and we had this, everybody wear a mask and try not to breathe on each other. N-acetylcysteine, I'm going to call it the do-it-all antioxidant for liver, immune, and respiratory health. Now, what does flu affect? What does things that are causing us to have not a good quality of life? They irritate us, that type of thing. Do it all antioxidant. N-acetylcysteine is one of those. It's one of the products that we sell quite a bit of because it works for the bronchicals, it works for the respiratory, it works for the liver, it works for the immune system. And it kind of helps take the place of cysteine by itself, which can be toxic, but is very little toxicity in N-acetylcysteine. And it's a powerful antioxidant that promotes healthy glutathione levels. Another whole subject, another whole text of talking about what we need to get a better quality of life. It's important. And the thing that is so cool about N-acetylcysteine, it actually encourages liver health and function. So, and there is a liver restore, milk thistle. I've been selling milk thistle for years in the sense of it is one of the herbs that is there to help us. Let's see here. Milk thistle, the legendary liver health extract in an easily absorbed formula. That would be the Life Extension one. Also Nature's Sunshine, Now products. So the formula provides the milk thistle benefits of silymarin, silibinum, and in other words, it's something that is able to help it be more assimilatable. Advanced milk thistle benefits delivers standardized nutrition to promote liver health and function, supports the body's natural detoxification process, encourages healthy cell division within the liver, phospholipids enhance absorption of active compounds into the bloodstream. So those are things that are important. And I'll just throw this one out of the way for a moment. But what's going on in your life and your health? What can you do to be your own doctor? You know, it's just amazing. Just amazing to know that we can do something to help with our life and our well-being. I'm going to go find my little piece of paper I put in here, and I'm going to share with you. Okay, you got to quit. Oh, here we go. No worries. And I wanted to bring this up about the probiotics. I want to share with you from one of the books that I've been able to purchase here, The Liver Cure. You know, alcoholic cirrhosis, supposed to be if there was a fatty liver in the past. It had to do with someone that had a drinking problem. And now you can go to your doctor and your doctor will say, you have a fatty liver. And you said, I don't drink. But you do eat the American diet. And the American diet is one of the things that causes us to have issues. And in this book here, the one thing that I really want to emphasize on this broadcast is about probiotics. They are essentially, when they are combined with prebiotics, appear to be effective in reducing hepatic encephalopathy. Anyway, they did a study. 17 patients were given yogurt containing a mixture of probiotics, and the control group of 8 patients had cirrhosis, minimal hepatic, and were given yogurt without probiotics. Those given the probiotic yogurt demonstrated a specific and significant improvement in the number of cognitive tests. And the yogurt was Lactobacillus, Burgeraris, Staphylococcus, Thermophilus, and L. Acidophilus, L. casei. Several contain the bifidobacteria. And interesting, even though the patients eating the yogurt demonstrated significant improvement in mental function, there was no improvement in ammonia level of inflammatory cytokines. All of the probiotic bacteria released lactose, which may have supplied fuel for impairing the brain cells. So even probiotics, in yogurt, and then probiotics added to it. One of the things that is within the Nature Sunshine products, they have probiotics, and they have curcumin in them. And that comes from a spicy turmeric. And listen to this carefully. The spicy turmeric has a number of properties beneficial to treating liver disorders, especially cirrhosis and fibrosis. Of those important in a antiviral properties, which have shown to inhibit the HIV virus. it was important that they did that. Okay, I'm going to jump over here. I want to go over a couple pages and make sure I get them right. Go to 37 where I was. I want to go to 59. Whoops. And I want to check it out here to see if there's anything I need to. This is something called leaky gut syndrome. And the colon is the largest part of the intestines, which is finally part of the digestive system. Its function is to reabsorb fluids and process waste products from the body and prepare for their elimination. So the trash can, we talk about this over and over again about we need to eliminate what's in us that's not good for us. And the quicker the transportation system gets the crap out, the better we are for it. One of the newest scientific discoveries is a link between the gut, and that's the stomach, small intestines, and the colon, and the liver, and the so-called gut-liver axis, which refers to the relationship between the gut, its microbiota, the bacterial environment, and the liver. And there is a flow between the gut and the liver makes sense because the substance absorbed from the intestines travels by the portal blood vessels directly in the liver. This includes not only digested foods and drink, but also various toxic substances released from the gut. Strongly linked to the gut-liver axis is the concept of a leaky gut and overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestines. That would another whole subject we could talk about at some point would be the how the body gets rid of the toxins and poisons in itself. And we eat our vegetables so we can get rid of the something to help hold on and push out the toxins. The colon contains more cells in terms of microorganisms than there are cells within the human body. The microorganisms include some, listen to this, 100 trillion microorganisms of 200 species of bacteria, most of which are anaerobic forms. In addition, the colon contains viruses and fungi. At birth, the gut is sterile, and during the baby's travel along the mother's birth canal, the baby begins to acquire its first exposure to those microorganisms, breast milk, and later solid foods during the birth, following the birth, I should say, become the main source of these essential microorganisms. And their study goes on that shows that it's important for the baby to come through the birth canal for it to be able to get its antibiotics to fight against what it's going to confront after it's been in this beautiful, pristine wound of mama. Then it's got to be kicked out into the world, and it needs to be able to have the antibiotics that help keep it functioning to its utmost ability to help with the immune system. And it's really 80% of the immune system is located within the walls of the gut. Extensive studies have shown that there's a critical role played by the gut microbiota and the number of diseases such as type 1, type 2, diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, metabolic disorders, and chronic liver disease. Uh, it's important for us to realize that where we live and the body we have here is we've got to do things for it and assist it in being able to handle the things that attack us. So it says that so small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. That's what we're talking about. And I'm not going to get into all that topic because it really gets a little heavy in talking about it, but it's something you may just want to look up. Google it, leaky gut syndrome and small intestines, biological area of the body. And one of the things we're going to talk about is the probiotics, and make sure I'm on the right page. Yeah, I need to go back. And it says, in another study, research found that Lactobacillus casei could dramatically improve the symptoms of NASH, including significant improvement in biological damage to the liver. In addition, this probiotic reduced serum triglyceride and total cholesterol level. Importantly, the specific probiotic also significantly improves insulin resistance. Our body was designed to live and not die. Our body wants to have what it needs so it can do the best for us, okay? And fructose is a major cause of dietary-induced fatty liver disease and insulin resistance. One study found that Lactobacillus casei could protect fructose-fed mice from developing fatty liver. So, what can we do about it, and what can this bacteria that we're putting in our system do for us? Okay, let me see where I'm going to go. And we need to go here. So basically, your prebiotic, your probiotic, your acidophilus, your bacillus coagulans, and I'm going to go and remember, if you're shopping at Remedy This Naturally, Probiotic 11. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. But it's expensive. I'm going to say that off the top of the... But for people who have had issues where probiotics will make a major difference in their life, the Probiotic 11 is a product you need to investigate and check out. Okay, going to go from here. We're going to skip over and go to 2, 3, 4. Okay. And this here is, I'm going to do a conclusion on the fatty liver subject, the fatty liver chapter in this book of Liver Cure. And that is bacterial overgrowth in the small intestines, which normally has very few of any bacteria, is strongly linked to leaky gut syndrome, where the normal tight junction intestinal barrier are defective. This allows, here's what we're dealing with, bacteria, fungi, fragments of microorganisms, bacterial toxins to enter the portal of the blood vessels, where they can trigger immune reaction directly in the blood. Upon entering the liver, these same products can further activate special immune cells in the liver called Kupffer cells. And I'll spell that. Cup spelled with a K, Kupffer. And Stellate cells, and that's Stellate. Upon activation, these cells release a number of inflammatory products, such as cytokines and chemokines, which cause variable degrees of damage to liver structures. And I'm going to throw this in here. You may want to look up some milk thistle to see what it will do in helping to help with the liver. Thus, chronic inflammation causes fat to accumulate in the liver cells, a condition called steatosis, or non-alcoholic fatty liver. And that's a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and they refer to it in the rest of the chapter as NAFDL. As the condition accelerates, producing higher levels of inflammation and liver destruction, we see the appearance of increased liver of damage. The accumulation of fat in the liver cells alters liver metabolism and can further increase liver inflammation. Over time, a process of fibrosis development which can further damage the liver structure, conditions we call non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. In some individuals, chronic inflammation in the liver will lead to development of liver cell cancer. As you have seen, the particular composition of the microbiota within the colon plays a critical role in one's susceptibility to liver damage, as well as conditions leading up to damage such as liver resistance, increase in intestinal permeability, and further level inflammation. And I apologize for that. Importantly, it has been demonstrated that one can even treat these conditions by using a mixture of special probiotics, prebiotics, and other nutritional products. Diet, exercise, stress reduction all play a role in preventing these conditions. The easiest way to take advantage of these methods is to buy a probiotic that contains at least 4 or 5 strains of Bifidobacillus bacteria and 5 of Lactobacillus, at least 20 billion. These probiotics should be taken at least once a week. In addition, additional probiotics, which are the foods for the bacteria, will further include the benefits effective by stimulating the growth of specific non-available commercial product, as well as feed the probiotics and your supplement. And so the 2 best probiotics taken, insulin and goblet-glandulin cereals. These can be taken daily or at least 3 times a week preferred. And I'm going to just say, and I'm going to go and get you to the information on Probiotic 11. Make sure I don't want this book yet. I want to go over here and I want to talk to you about this Probiotic 11. It is so powerful in helping things that can become and things that are already there. If you give the body what it needs, it will heal itself. It was designed in the Garden of Eden to live and not die. And that's where we come from. LMNO. Okay, Probiotic 11, 519. Should have it already marked. Okay, and I did. Probiotic 11. We had my marker there. And let's talk about something very, very serious. Let's talk about you overcoming death, world, and the flesh. And Probiotic 11, that's what we're talking about, is a nutritional supplement that provides 11 different strains of healthy intestinal flora. You gotta put the good things in there. Folks, we're eating the American diet. We're eating the things that cause damage in health and the body to disintegrate and go to pieces, and then we end up with disease, and then we get medications to try to help with disease, and the disease has already been back here causing the problem because we didn't give it something as simple as a probiotic, something with life. What did your doctor prescribe? Antibodies, things that are against. We are things that are pro. We want to be the pro and not the anti. Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. These important and beneficial bacteria are, what I say, pro. What's another word for pro? Friendly microorganisms that naturally inhibit the intestinal tract, aiding digestion, improving the absorption of nutrients, enhancing immune function, and protecting against harmful bacteria. And that's also why when we eat cooked food, we eat all these processed things, that man is taking all the good stuff out so it'll stay on the shelf and be there for how many weeks, months, and years, because it takes all the life out of it and puts something in there that has no life, so we can have deterioration of our life. That sounds so good. I wish I'd have recorded that. Probiotic 11 is designed to help reestablish, did you hear what I said? Reestablish a healthy balance of beneficial bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract, and can be used for both therapeutic purposes and preventive maintenance. What you got? You got a problem where you haven't had these probiotics, you've been taking all these antibiotics, and the antibiotics that are prescribed for you continue to break down and cause the wear and tear on the body, and we have nothing going in that gut, and then we have a leaky gut, and then we can't digest. But listen carefully to the last sentence in the paragraph here. This is for our benefit. This is for our salvation. Salvation is life. And if we can have life and have it abundantly, we got what it takes. All right, here we go. I'm going back. However, antibiotic use. I jumped too quick. Yeah, I did. We got to go back. Probiotic 11 is designed to help reestablish. That's the word I want you to understand. If you don't have probiotics in your system, this Probiotic 11 is going to help reestablish a healthy balance of beneficial bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract, and can be used, listen, it can be used for both what? Therapeutic purposes and preventive maintenance. What's the issue you got? Is something already deteriorated and we need some therapeutic help? Then it says it will work for therapeutic purposes and prevention of maintenance, or preventable maintenance. Beautiful. That's what the Probiotic 11 will do. Yeah, you may be taking a probiotic, But I'm going to tell you something. If you got an issue and you want to do something with it, I'm telling you about the top of the list. You can't afford it, get one on the bottom of the list. And start taking a digestive enzyme when you eat. Because the food we're eating has nothing to break it down with. You're not eating raw fruits and vegetables, which have the enzymes in them that break it down, feed the cells in the body, and our body is happy with it. Okay, where are we going here? Okay, we got doing good. Probiotics are defined as live microorganisms. That's why it's in the refrigerator. That's why we keep it refrigerated. Probiotics are defined as live microorganisms that once you ingest, demonstrate a beneficial effect upon the body by improving the balance of intestinal flora. And we got one too, that's intestinal flora. You can get it. The most reliable and well-researched probiotic organisms belonging to either the lactobacillus or the bifidobacteria. Lactobacillus bacteria resides mainly in the small intestinal tract, and bifidobacteria colonizes in the large intestines. Probiotics inhibit the growth of harmful microorganisms, boost your immune system. Don't you think that would be something good if you have a tendency to have the flu or be diagnosed with something? Something that as well increase resistance to infection and promote healthy digestion. If you can't digest it, you can't assimilate it. If you can't assimilate it, you're getting empty food for your body, and it's amazing what the crap we put our bodies through and how well it does what it does. It wants to live. It was designed to live, and that's why we struggle in our bodies, because we're not giving it what it needs. Okay. However, antibiotic use and alcohol, as well as disease and aging, can disrupt the balance of intestinal microflora, thus negatively affecting the beneficial role those important microorganisms play. If you can understand this little bit of biology, you can understand this little bit of how you can do something so simple. If you get to plants and vegetables and eating them, you don't have to worry about if you have the flora, because it's there. It's live. It's well. Okay. Much of the research on probiotics has focused on diarrhea prevention and intestinal health, stomach ulcers, immunity, and women's urogenital health. However, promising data also exists on the use of probiotics for combating the Helicobacter pylori stomach infections. Modulating mucosal immunity, in other words, the first line of defense against foreign invaders. The excess of calcium, certain cancers, minimize surgical complications, and decrease serum cholesterol oxaluria. The excess of calcium, certain cancers, minimize surgical and complications, and decreasing serum cholesterol, the excess of calcium, certain cancers, also excessive calcium in the urine, thus contributes to the formation of kidney stones. Furthermore, preliminary human studies suggest that probiotics have a positive effect in the treatment of colitis. If you have inflammation in your colon, the probiotics have a positive effect in the treatment of colitis. That's inflammation in the colon, also known as an irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome. You got that, right? A lot of times it's just referred to as IBD. A general term for a group of diseases involving intestinal wall inflammation and characterized by recurrent cramping in the abdomen, pain, and diarrhea, including Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Now, told you in the beginning here that there are things that we can do, and I'm talking to you about what's in the Probiotic 11, and I'm going to give you an idea what they do, because if you understand this and you understand what your body needs to correct it. You know, I remember learning to drive a vehicle, and I remember when it needs a tune-up. It would go poop, 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 poop. It would mess up. And so we need a tune-up by putting real food, real substance in the body, and then the body can heal itself. You're not going to get healed unless it's from the inside out. And it has to be from the things that God manufactured in the Garden of Eden, which is given to Adam and Eve out of the dirt to make them, and we've gotten away from the dirt. Going barefooted in the country old years ago helped the body put immune system there for us. All right. This may be boring, may pronounce some of these things incorrectly, but the bottom line is probiotics is what you need to learn and be able to think for our health and wellness. And when I talk to you about the liver is the filter we need, folks. You think about it in machinery, you can just look at it together as to we are a piece of equipment that was made by a special Heavenly Father. But each serving of Probiotic 11 contains 1.6 billion lactose rafidus, 1.2 billion of bacterium bifidus, 1.2 billion lactobacillus and acidophilus, 1.2 billion of lactose brevia, B-R-E-V-I-A, 1.2 billion of lactose bulgarius, 1.2 billion of lactose platyrum, 1.2 Staphylococcus thermophilus, 8 million Lactobacillus infidus, 800 million Lactobacterium longum, 800 million lactose casei, 800 million lactose salivarius cultures, along with fructose saccharides, a dietary fiber, that assist proliferation of these important bacteria. Do you want to know what each one of those does? I mean, I cannot stress in this particular program how critical probiotics, prebiotics, the different biotics there may be. That there, and yeah, I think I did this last week, but let me just show you something. I mean, I went over those, but it just tells you. All right, let's just look at Lactobacillus acidophilus. Has demonstrated significant antioxidant activity, has been shown to prevent several intestinal pathogens. In other words, these are disease-causing microorganisms from attaching to human intestinal cells, including the E. coli, Salmonella, inhibits the growth of Helicobacter pylori, and has been proven effective in reducing the duration of acute diarrhea in children. In addition, L. acidophilus, regarded as a successful natural treatment for bacterial vaginitis. In other words, these women have vaginal infection. Acidophilus is proven to be essential for that, healing. And furthermore, a controlled clinical study found that L. acidophilus can reduce serum cholesterol and thus demonstrates the potential for reducing the risk of coronary heart disease. And then I'll read the last statement here on the Lactobacillus brevis. It says here, oh, it's kind of hard not to get the whole thing, but anyway, the last part of the sentence, that's used to test the effects of anti-cancer drugs and radiation. When you're putting that stuff in there, trying to fight these things that the body has broken down over the centuries of living, against antibiotic-associated diarrhea and complications, including post-operative infection, that's the Lactobacillus plantarum. 11. Can't stress it enough. Probiotic 11. Check it out, pick it up, and get it from Remedy This Naturally, because you're learning from Remedy This Naturally. And you need to patronize who's giving you this information, because I am unlocking a treasure chest that God ordained for us to have and to use, because He is where it came from. Okay? And I'm going to get into, I think we got time to do this, but I'm going to share with you, and then we can look up and we can talk about some things that are very prevalent. And this probiotics, okay, if you, and it's going to it goes into alcohol use and probiotics. What is it in there if you are drinking alcohol? And folks, we are social drinkers, more you can tell. Especially now, it's the social drinking of wine. And I know where we got that from, because Jesus says that we should drink a little wine for our stomach's sake. And folks, I keep some on hand just for that, because if your stomach is causing a problem, then a little bit of wine for the stomach's sake could be beneficial. All right, and that's just me reporting, okay? Allergies. What in the world does probiotics have to do with allergies? It helps to get some good nourishment that has a positive, that's a probiotic, not an antibiotic, and the pro will help with allergies. And the next one, anxiety. Oh man, and there is not only anxiety, there is super anxiety now that we have gone over and beyond. But if you will start putting some probiotics in your system and give it the chance to have, it will fight the alcohol, it will fight the allergies, it will fight the anxiety, it will fight the asthma. And listen to this one very carefully if you have anybody that's in school, or anybody trying to learn. Because there is an attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and probiotics. And it's non-harmful. It's non-evasive. It is pro, not anti, and it came from God's heavenly place where Adam and Eve lived. Can't get enough of this, folks. Bacterial skin infections. I have seen individuals start taking probiotic 11. There's also one that comes out, and it's for the liver. Probiotics. Okay. Cancer immunotherapy. All right. The cancer, somebody needs this. Let me go back over here. Put this in the book. And I want to go back and I'm going to turn back. We got time. This is all about life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness and life. Page 315. And I hope it does what I'm thinking in my mind it will do. Oh, 315. I got to turn some pages. All right. Probiotics. And this is in the chapter of cancer immune therapy, written by doctors, disease, prevention, and treatment. And I'm going to read to you about cancer immune therapy and probiotics. This is important for somebody listening. Probiotics are microorganisms that improve health when used as a supplement. A supplement. Where you want to get your supplement from? I'd say right there, remedy this naturally. They keep bad bacteria in check and help balance the immune system between efficient pathogens, destruction, and damaging inflammation. Supplemental probiotics are used to treat digestive problems, including chemotherapy-induced diarrhea. But there is compelling evidence that probiotics could also influence response to immune therapy. That probiotics can help give immunity to cancer. In a small group of people, supplementation with Lactobacillus casei strain, Shirto significantly enhanced NK cells activity, particularly for those with low NK activity at the start of the study. Additional studies have found that probiotics increase cell activity in the elderly patients and in patients undergoing surgery for cancer. The adaptive immune system is also affected by probiotics in mice. The Saccharomyces, Saccharomyces bonviviri significantly increased antibiotics produced into a vaccine. In recent study, people over 85 years old, a heart-killing in other words, it's a paracasia supplement increased the antibody response to a flu vaccine. Healthy people aged 50 to 70 were treated with Elgasia in another study. The number of cytotoxins T cells can destroy cancer cells were significantly increased in these people. Two papers published together in the journal Science in 2015 presented data that the type of bacteria presentation in the gut could significantly increase the response to immune checkpoint inhibitors in mice models. Treatment of the mice with treatment of mice with Bifidobacterium alone shrank the tumors and then treated with the bacteria along with a checkpoint inhibitor. The tumors were also entirely destroyed. Additional research is required to determine whether supplementation with probiotics can increase response to checkpoint inhibitors and many immune bacterial in humans. And probably, once it was shown to be effective, the study was dropped. Folks, God don't lie. He said he has what he made for us to be for our healing, our well-being. And if we can take and learn from what we are doing, prebiotics, probiotics is what this is all about. And I just told you, I went to the cancer immunology, cancer radiation therapy, putting probiotics in there to help the body heal itself. Candida, which can be helped to eliminate with probiotics. Cardiovascular health and probiotics. Google this. Google probiotics. Google prebiotics. Google all the different things that they can be used for. We need to put God back into our healing. We need to put back into what God is responsible for in our life and liberty. God does not want us sick. Sickness is not something that God, if we will do what he says do, go back and look at the diet in your Bible. What we are to eat, what we're not to eat, and we will follow that diet, we will be well beyond all measure. God says so. He promised it. And listen to me, if you and I will put together and say this together, there will be healing in the transformation of what's inside of us. And that is by reciting the Lord's Prayer. The first word is our. Our, not me, not mine, not yours. But we are in this together. Because he said, our Father. Our Father. And if we'll get hold of that, it won't make no difference what you believe and what I believe, how we believe, what we agree on and what we disagree on. But if we will agree that our Father is the starting point of our healing, and go through the rest of that prayer. And if we will take the name and we will use it, we will have it. I can't think of any way better than to wrap up this program in the next minute than saying it's because of our Father who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. And God's will is for us to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, and not be sick. Sickness is not from God. We've got to get back to God to find the answer so we don't have sickness. We have life, wealth, pursuit of happiness in God. Finish the rest of the Lord's Prayer, what it has to say, and what it will do for us. And most of all, put something pro into our body, not anti into our body, and that includes our body, our mind, our soul, our heart, our total being. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring our Father where we're all as one now.